Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to pull back the drywall and dig under the lawn to uncover the hidden world of your home's plumbing. It's a surprisingly complex system, and it's constantly battling forces you never even see.
So let's just dive right in. You hear that constant drip, 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 or that weird gurgle from the toilet? Well, those aren't just little annoyances. Think of them more like distress signals from a system that's under attack.
Okay, so let's start with the stuff you actually see. These are the symptoms, the things that make you go, I should probably get that looked at.
You know how it starts, right? The water in the shower, it just starts pooling around your feet, taking a little longer to drain every single day. It's probably one of the most common plumbing headaches out there.
And then there's this sound, that weird gurgling noise coming from the toilet, but long after you flushed. It's this odd, almost living sound. And believe me, it is definitely trying to tell you something.
Oh, and this one's a real head-scratcher. Your water bill suddenly spikes. You rack your brain, you haven't been doing anything different, but nope, that's not just inflation. That's your water going somewhere it's not supposed to.
So here's the thing. These aren't just random one-off problems. More often than not, they're clues. They're all pointing to a much, much bigger story, one that literally starts with the ground your house is built on.
To really get this, we're going to zoom in and use a real-world example, Hagerstown, Maryland. Why there? Because its unique geology and climate create, well, a perfect storm of plumbing problems. It's a fantastic case study for these invisible forces at war with our pipes. So our first culprit is something you can't even see. It's called hard water. See, Hagerstown sits on this limestone bedrock, which means its water is just loaded with minerals. Think calcium and magnesium. Sounds harmless, right? Wrong. It is relentlessly aggressive.
And the damage it does? Oh, it's everywhere. That mineral buildup, it's like cholesterol for your home's plumbing. Seriously, it clogs up shower heads, it completely destroys the guts of your faucets, and it can even shave years off the life of your water heater.
All right, culprit number 2 is the very ground your house sits on. The soil in this area is heavy clay, and when it gets wet, it expands, and when it dries, it contracts. All that movement puts a massive amount of stress on those rigid underground sewer lines, eventually causing them to crack and break apart. And our third and final culprit, the weather. It all comes down to simple physics. Water expands when it freezes. It's incredibly powerful. So from about November to March, this whole freeze-thaw cycle is one of the biggest reasons for burst pipes, especially for those outdoor faucets or any pipes that aren't insulated properly. So this is exactly why modern plumbing materials have evolved, right? They're designed to fight back against these specific local conditions. Take PEX piping. It's super flexible, so it's a great defense against that freeze-thaw cycle. But then you have classic copper, which is still the gold standard for resisting corrosion from that hard water chemistry. And this all leads to a really crucial point. Knowing about all these hidden enemies, that's what separates a quick fix that's going to fail in a year from a real permanent solution. It's all about that deep local expertise.
Yeah, this quote just nails it. A really good plumber isn't just a mechanic with a wrench. They're more like a detective. They have to be a little bit of a geologist, a bit of a historian, and a bit of a chemist, all rolled into one, just to figure out why a pipe failed and how to make sure it never happens again.
And you know, because it's so complex, a real pro is going to follow a super clear, transparent process. It's not just showing up and guessing. It starts with asking you the right questions, then moves to a precise diagnosis where they give you clear options, and it ends with a repair that's actually tested and verified, not just crossing their fingers and hoping for the best.
So let's stick with that idea of diagnosis for a second. To solve these problems, you have to be able to see what's unseen. And that, my friends, is where technology changes everything.
I mean, it's simple, right? You can't fix a problem if you can't see it. So instead of just guessing what's going on behind a wall or under a concrete floor, today's plumbers use these amazing specialized tools to get a crystal clear picture of what's really happening.
And this toolkit is it's awesome. We're talking about tiny, waterproof, high-def cameras they can send right down your sewer line. They can literally pull up a screen and show you the exact spot where a tree root has punched through your pipe. There's no more guesswork. It's incredible.
Okay, so how does all this help you at home? Well, with this knowledge, you can actually become a better home detective yourself. So let's run through a practical checklist of some key warning signs you should never ignore. Think of this as your personal cheat sheet, your decoder ring for your house's weird noises. That gurgling toilet we talked about? Yeah, that could be a sewer line blockage.
See a mysterious wet patch in your yard that never dries up? That's a huge red flag for a leaky sewer line or root intrusion. This chart helps you connect the symptoms you see to those hidden culprits we've been talking about.
So when you think about it, your home is always talking to you. The next time you hear one of those strange noises or you see a drain that's just a little bit slower than it used to be, listen up. Because now you know it's not just a random glitch. It's probably a clue to a much bigger story happening right under your feet.